Have you ever read a book? After reading it, what did you do? Most of us would forget what we have read, but those that still linger are products of application of learning. To learn and not to do is really not to learn. And to know and not to do is really not to know. Stephen R. Covey from the book The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People reminds all of us that learning must always be coupled with application. This lesson will help us strengthen what we know and will also help us transform learning meaningfully. This session will also provide you powerful lessons on applying concepts and information from news reports, speeches, or informative talks to concrete application in your everyday life. Greetings, grade 10 students! Welcome to Bamboo Telescuela. This is your school on the air in English 10. I am Teacher RJ. Make sure to grab your modules with you and tune in to DWND FM and CMB Cable Channel 1. We are also streaming live at SDO Cauayan Facebook page. We are always bound by change, and for a positive personal change to happen, we must keep on learning. We have to find meaning in everything that we do and apply these to real-life situations. And yes, this time, you have to exhaust yourself into learning many things and apply them in real-life situations. Please be reminded of our learning objectives for today. First, define news report and informative speech. Second, differentiate news reports from informative speeches. And third, have an awareness on the importance of news and informative speeches in everyday life. Our lesson today revolves around these questions. Kindly take them down and later on we will answer them. Number 1. What are informative texts? What are some of its examples? Number 2. What are news reports? Number 3. What are informative speeches? And number 4, what is the difference between news reports from informative speeches? Let's see what you have already know by identifying whether the items presented are informational text or not. Let's start with number 1. News. Short stories, poems, informative speeches, and diary. Let's check if your answers are correct. Number 1. News is an example of informational text. Number 2. Short stories are not informational texts. Number 3. Poems are not informational texts. Number 4. Informative speeches are informational texts. And number 5. Diaries are not informational texts. I hope you all got it right. This time, let us now browse your modules on page 9. Britannica.com defines True Colors as a personality profiling system created by Don Lowry in 1978. It was originally created to categorize our 4 basic learning styles using the colors blue, orange, gold, and green to identify the strengths and challenges of these core personality types. Here is the instructions. Compare all 4 boxes in each row and score each of the 4 boxes from most to least, following 4 as the most and 1 as the least. Write down your answers on your own answer sheets. You have 3 minutes to complete this activity. Your time starts now. Now that you have with you your completed True Colors personality form, let us now add all the points you have written in each of the boxes. Letters A, H, K, and S go together in orange box. Letters D, E, L, P, Q go together in the green box. And letters C, F, J, O, R go together in the blue box. And B, G, I, M, T go together in the gold box. Congratulations! The colored box with the highest point is your dominant personality color. The color spectrum with their corresponding descriptions are also attached in our module. How do you find the activity? Have you enjoyed being informed about some of the descriptions about you that you weren't aware? That is the power of informational materials. Lincoln Learning Solutions can give a short but easy to understand video clip about informational texts. Listen actively and carefully, take down important information, and enjoy.
Informational texts include books and other types of texts that are about real life. They contain facts and true information. In other words, informational texts do not have made-up or imaginary stories. Informational texts teach you about real things. You can find informational texts about many topics. When you have finished reading an informational text, you can show what you have learned by answering questions about what you read. Listen to the informational text titled, Parts of a Plant. Pay close attention to what real-life topic is discussed in the text. Look for facts as you listen and read along. Parts of a plant. There are 4 main parts of a plant: the roots, stems, leaves, and flowers. Each part does an important job that helps the plant survive. Roots grow into the ground. They hold the plant in place. Roots also soak up water and nutrients from the ground. Nutrients are healthy materials that help the plant grow. The stems take water and nutrients from the roots and carry them to other parts of the plant. Plant stems also hold the leaves and flowers up as they grow toward the sunlight. Leaves take in the sunlight and air. The plant needs both of these to live. The leaf is where water, sunlight, and gases from the air are turned into food for the plant. Leaves are found in many shapes and sizes. The flower is where seeds are made. The seeds can be spread to make more plants. Think about what you just read. What was it all about? The topic, or main idea, of this informational text is parts of a plant. Looking at the title is a good way to get a clue about the main idea. What are the 4 parts of a plant that were described in the text? The 4 parts are the roots, stems, leaves, and flowers. Do you remember that each part of a plant has an important job? What job do the leaves of a plant have? The leaves take in sunlight and air. They also make food for the plant. One way to show what you have learned from an informational text is to summarize it. To summarize means to give a short description of the important parts of something. In this case, you are describing the important parts of a text. Here is a summary of parts of a plant. Parts of a plant talks about a plant's roots, stems, leaves, and flowers. Each part is important because it does a job that keeps the plant alive. Notice that the summary does not give every detail about the job each plant part does. It just gives the main idea of what the whole text is about. The next time you read an informational text, see if you can pick out some of the facts. Next, tell someone else about what you read. Talking about the text will help you understand and remember the information.
Now that you have watched the video clip, let us now answer these questions. Number 1, what are informational texts? And number 2, what are the other types of informational texts? I have here 2 examples of informational text. A while back, we answered the news reports and informative speeches are examples of informational texts. To explain, here is why. News reports are articles commonly found in the newspapers. These articles aim to inform readers about the current state of the nation, up-to-date events, and other factual information. These reports are written on a daily basis. News reports are usually short and jump-packed with important information just at the first part of the article. Usually, the news report follows an inverted pyramid model, which means that the most important information can be readily available in the first paragraph, which is called lead. News reports now can be found in hard and digital copies. Philippine Daily Inquirer, Rappler, Manila Bulletin, Philippine Star, Business Mirror, and other Philippine news publications are providing news reports daily. Another example of an informative or informational text is an informative speech. Speech can be defined as either a formal or informal address delivered to a general or specific audience. The purposes of speech are to inform, to persuade, to argue, to entertain, to inspire, and more. One basic type of speech is informative speech. This type of speech generally aims to inform the audience. Be it a promodizer informing the buyers about the capabilities of a product, or a president delivering a speech to inform the employees about the new policies, informative speech draws largely on providing information from an audience. Examples of informative speeches can be found in popular YouTube and other online platforms like TED Talks. Informative speech and news reports are different in many ways. Informative speech follows an essay-type approach, from introduction, body, and conclusion, while news reports follow the inverted pyramid and do not have conclusions, since most of important information can be drawn from the lead statement. Further, informative speeches can be too long, while news reports are suggested to be brief and short. Informative speech can be delivered in a stage, in an informal setting, and more, while news reports are delivered in a broadcast. To summarize and organize what we have learned today, let us look into this graphic organizer. Now that we are done with the discussion, I want you to go over your module and answer activities on pages 13 to 23. Submit your modules to your English 10 teacher. That wraps up our lesson. I hope you have enjoyed and learned something new today. If you still have questions and clarifications, write it down on your module or message your English teacher. It has been a great day of learning and discovery. See you again next week, Monday, same time from 1 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. Only here at DWND FM and CMD Cable Vision. Follow the Facebook page of SDO Cauayan for more live updates and information. Remember, to learn and not to do is really not to learn. To know and not to do is really not to know. This has been Teacher RJ for Bamboo Telescuela, bringing education in the comforts of your home. Be safe and all the best. Long live SDO Cauayan.